Story. Chapter 1. Shattered Foundations. Robert Kincaid graded papers at his kitchen table, red pen moving across student essays about the Civil War. The quiet Sunday morning settled around him like a comfortable blanket, broken only by the soft sounds of his twins moving about upstairs. At 42, he'd mastered the art of productive weekends, balancing his duties as a history teacher with family time. "Dad," Emma's voice carried down the stairs. "Do you know where Mom keeps her old photos?" Rob set down his pen, rubbing his temples. "Check her office, sweetheart. Top shelf of the bookcase, I think." "Thanks." Emma's footsteps retreated, followed by the sound of Lucas joining her. The twins had been acting peculiar lately. Rob initially attributed it to their upcoming events. Lucas had the state debate championship next weekend, while Emma's gymnastics meet loomed on the horizon. But something felt off. During breakfast, Lucas's hands had trembled so badly he'd spilled orange juice across the table. Emma kept checking her phone, her usual cheerful demeanor subdued. Rob returned to his grading, pride swelling as he read through Jason Martinez's essay. The boy had come so far since joining Rob's scholarship program 3 years ago. As founder of the initiative, Rob had fought hard to secure funding for underprivileged students, watching them flourish under proper guidance and support. A thud from upstairs broke his concentration. Then silence, the kind that made parental instinct scream danger. "Lucas," Rob called out. "Emma?" "Dad." Lucas's voice cracked. "I need you, please." Rob took the stairs 2 at a time, his heart pounding against his ribs. He found the twins in Kate's home office, surrounded by scattered photo albums. Lucas clutched an iPhone in his trembling hands, Kate's old one, the one she claimed she lost 6 months ago. Emma stood beside her brother, tears streaming down her face. "I found it behind the bookshelf," Lucas whispered. "We were looking for Mom's old photos for the anniversary video and—" His voice trailed off as he handed the phone to his father. Rob's fingers closed around the device. The screen displayed hundreds of messages between Kate and James Sullivan, his best friend since college, their children's godfather, the man who'd stood beside him at his wedding. "How long have you been reading these?" Rob's voice came out steady, controlled. Emma hiccuped through her tears. "An hour, maybe. We didn't mean to snoop." The phone fell out when Lucas pulled down the photo albums. Rob scrolled through the messages, each word a dagger to his gut. The exchanges between Kate and James were intimate, detailed, and recent. References to meetings, stolen moments, plans carefully orchestrated to avoid detection. And throughout the conversations, another name kept appearing, Teresa Parker. "Teresa?" Rob muttered. "My colleague Teresa?" Lucas nodded grimly. "Mom's supposed best friend? She's been covering for them, Dad. All those girls' weekends? The emergencies at James's restaurant? She made up alibis." Rob's mind raced backward through time. Teresa Parker had joined the high school faculty 5 years ago, quickly becoming Kate's closest confidant. How many times had Teresa sat at their dinner table, laughing and sharing stories, all while helping orchestrate this betrayal? "There's more," Emma said quietly. She pulled up another message thread. "Look at the dates." Rob's eyes narrowed as he read. The messages revealed a carefully planned sabotage from 3 years ago, when he'd been up for department head. James had pulled strings behind the scenes, manipulating events to ensure Rob didn't get the position. The reason became clear in subsequent messages. They needed Rob to remain financially dependent on Kate's gallery success. "Son of a bitch," Rob breathed. The twins flinched at their father's tone. They'd never heard such cold fury in his voice. Emma reached for her father's arm. "Dad, what are we going to do?" Rob stared at the phone, his mind already calculating moves and countermoves. "First, we're going to make copies of everything on this phone. Then we're going to pack some bags. We're not staying here tonight. Where will we go?" Lucas asked. "Your Aunt Angela's." Rob's voice held no room for argument. "She's not just your aunt. She's the best divorce attorney in the state." The twins exchanged glances before Emma spoke again. "Mom's at the gallery until 6. She's hosting that new artist's preview. With James," Lucas added bitterly. "He's providing the catering." Rob nodded slowly. "Perfect. That gives us 3 hours." "Lucas," Get your laptop and start backing up everything from this phone. Emma, pack bags for yourself and your brother. Enough for at least a week. I'll handle the important documents." As the twins hurried to their tasks, Rob moved through the house with deliberate purpose. In the master bedroom, he opened the safe behind Kate's favorite painting, an abstract piece she'd insisted on hanging despite his dislike of it. Inside, he found their passports, birth certificates, and financial documents. Next came the USB drive from his office safe, containing records of all his personal accounts and the scholarship program's documentation. In their walk-in closet, Rob retrieved his grandmother's jewelry box from the top shelf. He'd given it to Kate on their 5th anniversary, watching her face light up at the antique pieces inside. Now, he carefully removed his great-grandmother's wedding ring, the one he'd kept separate from Kate's modern jewelry collection. This ring would never grace her finger. A soft knock at the door revealed Emma, her eyes red but determined. "The bags are ready. Lucas has everything backed up on his laptop and 3 different cloud accounts." Rob managed a small smile. "That's my girl. Smart thinking." He placed Kate's wedding ring on their bedroom dresser, alongside a printed copy of divorce papers he'd pulled from his briefcase. The sight of them made Emma inhale sharply. "You already had those prepared?" "No," Rob admitted. "I've had them for 6 months, since right after she claimed she lost her phone. I didn't have proof then, just instinct screaming that something was wrong. Your mother's behavior changed about a year ago. Small things at first, new clothes, different perfume, constantly checking her phone." Emma's face crumpled. "I found something else while packing." She pulled a leather-bound book from behind her back. It was hidden in Mom's craft supplies, the one she never uses. "It's her diary." Rob took the book, noting the expensive leather cover and gold-edged pages. The first entry was dated 10 years ago. As he flipped through the pages, his jaw tightened. The diary detailed years of calculated decisions, manipulations, and plans, all centered around maintaining control over their lives while pursuing her relationship with James. "Dad." Lucas appeared in the doorway, laptop bag slung over his shoulder. "I think someone's coming up the driveway." Rob moved to the window. A familiar car pulled up, Detective Andrea Morrison, parent of one of his debate team students. She'd noticed his distraction during yesterday's school function, quietly offering her help if he ever needed it. At the time, he'd brushed off her concern. "Perfect timing," Rob murmured. He turned to the twins. "Take everything to my car. Use the garage entrance. I need 5 minutes with Detective Morrison." As his children hurried away, Rob descended the stairs. Through the front window, he spotted his elderly neighbor, Benjamin Hayes, watching from his porch. The retired judge had mentioned seeing strange cars at the house while Rob was at work. Now those observations took on new meaning. Rob opened the door before Andrea could knock. "Detective Morrison, thank you for coming." The detective's sharp eyes took in his expression. "You found something. More than something." Rob gestured her inside. "I need to know if you're still willing to help, officially or unofficially." Andrea's response was immediate. "Both. Whatever you need." "Good." Rob handed her Kate's phone. "Because what I found goes beyond a simple affair. There's evidence of financial manipulation, professional sabotage, and what looks like systematic gaslighting." Andrea's eyebrows rose as she scrolled through the messages. "This is extensive, and potentially criminal in some aspects." She looked up at him. "Where are the twins?" "Loading the car." "We're staying with my sister." "Smart move." Andrea pulled out her own phone. "I'm calling in a favor with Judge Hayes next door. We'll get an emergency order to preserve all electronic evidence before anyone can delete anything." Rob nodded grimly. "I want everything documented. Message, manipulation, lie. I want it all on record." "Planning to go nuclear?" Andrea's tone held no judgment. "They destroyed my family's trust." Rob's voice turned to ice. "Tried to control my career, my finances, my children's lives. Nuclear doesn't begin to cover what I'm planning." Andrea pocketed both phones. "I'll have copies of everything to you by morning." "And Rob?" She met his gaze steadily. "Don't worry about James's connections in the department. I've got friends in federal agencies who owe me favors. If there's anything criminal here, it won't be handled locally." Rob walked her to the door, where Lucas and Emma waited by his car. The twins had worked efficiently. 3 suitcases and various bags were already loaded. "Ready?" he asked them. Emma clutched her mother's diary to her chest. "Ready." Lucas adjusted his laptop bag. "More than ready." As they pulled out of the driveway, Rob caught Judge Hayes's subtle nod from next door. The old man had witnessed more than strange cars, Rob suspected. And soon, those observations would become part of the official record. Rob drove toward Angela's house, his mind already mapping out the battles ahead. Kate and James had spent years weaving their web of deception. Now they would learn what happened when that web unraveled, one calculated strand at a time. In the rearview mirror, he watched his children's faces. They wore expressions no 16-year-olds should have to wear, a mixture of betrayal, determination, and dawning understanding of adult complexities. He made a silent vow. Kate and James wouldn't get away with this, not just for his sake, but for the twins who'd had their innocence shattered by adult selfishness. The sun began its descent as they drove, but Rob felt no sadness leaving his home behind. He'd built that life on what he thought was solid ground, only to discover the foundation was rotten. Now he would build something new, something anchored in truth, no matter how painful that truth might be. His phone buzzed with a text from Angela. "Guest room's ready. David's here. He can talk to the kids tonight if they're up for it." Rob allowed himself a small smile. His sister's husband, Dr. David Chun, was one of the city's most respected psychologists. The twins would need his expertise to process this trauma. And Rob would need Angela's legal expertise and David's insights into psychological manipulation. The game had changed. Kate and James thought they were master players, but they'd forgotten one crucial detail. A man with nothing left to lose is a dangerous opponent. And Rob Kincaid had just lost everything except his children and his integrity. Those would prove to be more than enough. Chapter 2. The Weight of Memory. The coffee in Rob's cup had gone cold, untouched as he listened to his sister lay out their legal options. Angela's home office, with its imposing oak desk and wall of law books, had become their war room. The twins were upstairs with David, their first therapy session beginning the process of understanding their mother's betrayal. "The diary is a goldmine," Angela said, flipping through Kate's leather-bound confessions. She documented everything, probably thought it would never be found. Classic narcissistic behavior, according to David. Rob leaned forward. "What jumped out at you? Besides the affair?" "The systematic isolation." Angela turned to a marked page. "She and James worked together to distance you from other friends, other opportunities. Remember Marcus Thompson?" The name triggered a flash of memory, his former tennis partner, who'd suddenly stopped accepting invitations 3 years ago. "What about him?" "According to this entry, Kate told him you'd made comments about his wife. Meanwhile, she told you he was dealing with personal issues and needed space." Angela's lips tightened. She did the same thing with at least 5 other friends. Rob's hands clenched. The department head position? James's handiwork primarily. He convinced the superintendent that promoting you would create conflicts with your scholarship program. Made it sound like he was protecting your interests. Angela pulled out her phone. "Which reminds me, my friend Patricia Wong wants to look at the program's finances. She's a forensic accountant." "Why?" Rob frowned. "I handled all the accounting myself." "Exactly. But according to these entries, Kate had access to some of the accounts. We need to make sure nothing was diverted." A knock at the door interrupted them. David entered, his normally cheerful face serious. "The twins are resting. Emma finally fell asleep, but Lucas is still processing. He wants to talk to you, Rob." Rob stood, but David held up a hand. "First, you need to hear this." The kids revealed some concerning patterns. Kate's been manipulating their social circles for years. Certain friends were encouraged, others subtly pushed away. She had particular control over Emma's gymnastics team dynamics. "Through Maria Ramirez?" Rob asked, remembering Emma's coach. "Yes. Maria apparently owes Kate some favors. She's been influencing team selections based on Kate's preferences." Rob's expression darkened. "Add that to the list, Angela." "Already noted." His sister didn't look up from her legal pad. "David, what about Lucas?" The debate team was mostly protected because of Rob's involvement. But there were attempts to influence competition assignments through administrative channels. A new voice joined the conversation. That tracks with what I found. They turned to find Detective Morrison in the doorway, holding a thick file. Judge Hayes signed the preservation order. I've got copies of everything from the phone, plus some interesting financial records from the gallery. Rob gestured her in. What kind of records? The kind that suggests the art gallery isn't just selling art. Andrea spread several documents across Angela's desk. These are records of private shows, very private. The guest lists read like a who's who of local power players. Angela examined the papers. These prices don't make sense for the artwork listed, because they're not just buying art, Andrea explained. According to my source, an assistant named Olivia Martinez, these events are where deals are made. Relationships brokered. Reputations bought and sold. Rob absorbed this information, his mind racing. James's restaurants? Part of the same operation. His head chef, Samuel Wright, has been documenting suspicious meetings in the private dining rooms. He came to me last month with concerns about money laundering. A knock on the door frame made them all turn. Lucas stood there, his young face set in determined lines. Dad, can we talk? Rob nodded, following his son to the kitchen. Lucas pulled out his laptop, opening a series of spreadsheets. I've been analyzing the phone data, Lucas explained. His voice remained steady despite the pain in his eyes. Mom and James used a pattern. Every time they planned to meet, there would be a corresponding event, either at the gallery or the restaurant. Teresa Parker provided alibis for 70% of these meetings. Rob studied his son's meticulous work. This is excellent analysis, Lucas. But you don't have to do this. Yes, I do. Lucas met his father's gaze. They tried to make us part of their lies. Used us as excuses, planned around our schedules. Emma found messages where Mom complained about your dedication to the scholarship program. Said it took too much attention away from her. Rob's jaw tightened. The program helps people, Lucas. Real people. I know. That's why I started documenting everything when we found the phone. Emma's been going through Mom's social media, finding inconsistencies in her posts about where she was on specific dates. Pride mixed with sadness in Rob's chest. His children shouldn't have to turn their analytical skills to exposing their mother's deceptions. But here they were, showing strength beyond their years. Lucas, Rob placed a hand on his son's shoulder. What do you need from me right now? The boy's composure cracked slightly. I need you to promise we won't have to go back. Emma's scared mom will try to force us home. That won't happen. Rob's voice held absolute certainty. Angela's already filing for emergency custody. Detective Morrison's evidence will help ensure that. Lucas nodded, then asked the question that had clearly been haunting him. When did you first meet Mom? Before everything went wrong? Rob leaned against the kitchen counter, memories rushing back. It was at a charity gala 20 years ago. She was different then. Or maybe I just couldn't see past her mask. Tell me about that night, Lucas requested softly. I need to understand. Rob closed his eyes, remembering. She was showcasing her first art piece at the gala. Her laugh drew me in first. It filled the whole room. She talked about her dreams of opening her own gallery, supporting emerging artists. James introduced us. Uncle James. Lucas spat the title like poison. He was my best friend since college. Stood right beside me at the wedding. Rob's voice hardened. Now I understand why he was so eager to introduce us. It was all planned, wasn't it? Lucas's fingers moved across his laptop keyboard, documenting even this conversation. From the very beginning? Before Rob could answer, Emma appeared in the doorway. Her face was puffy from crying, but her voice was strong. Dad? Detective Morrison wants to talk to us about something they found in Mom's gallery records. Back in Angela's office, Andrea had spread more documents across the desk. These go back 3 years, she explained. Around the time of the department head position. James didn't just manipulate the superintendent. He orchestrated a complete financial strategy. Rob studied the papers, his anger growing. The documents showed how James and Kate had worked to keep him dependent on the gallery's success. They'd manipulated loan applications, created artificial debt, all while building their own secret financial reserves. There's something else, Angela added, her voice tight with controlled rage. David found references in Kate's diary to social engineering. She deliberately cultivated relationships with school board members, using the gallery events to gather information and build influence. Emma stepped forward, holding her phone. I found Mom's old Instagram posts. She documented everything, but the captions were lies. Look at this one. She claims she's at a teacher appreciation dinner, but the metadata shows she was at James's lake house. Rob watched his daughter's determined face as she scrolled through more evidence. Both twins had inherited his analytical mind and their mother's attention to detail. Now they were using those skills to unravel the very deceptions that had shaped their lives. Mr. Kincaid? Detective Morrison's voice was gentle but firm. We need to discuss protection orders. Given the scale of what we're uncovering, there might be attempts at interference. Angela nodded. I've already drafted them. Rob, I need you to document every interaction with Kate and James over the past year. Times, dates, anything that felt off. Already working on it, Lucas said, turning his laptop to show them a detailed spreadsheet. Emma and I have been cross-referencing our own memories with Mom's diary entries. The night deepened as they worked, building their case piece by piece. David brought sandwiches that went mostly uneaten. Judge Hayes called twice with updates about the evidence preservation orders. Through it all, Rob watched his children transform their pain into purpose. Around midnight, Emma finally succumbed to exhaustion, curling up on Angela's office couch. Lucas kept working until David gently insisted he try to rest. Rob found himself alone with his sister and the detective, surrounded by the paper trail of his destroyed marriage. What happens tomorrow? He asked quietly. Andrea straightened a stack of documents. We move fast. Kate won't know what hit her until it's too late to hide anything. I've got teams ready to secure evidence at both the gallery and the restaurant. And the kids are protected, Angela assured him. The emergency custody order is ready. Given the evidence of manipulation and the twins' age, their preference to stay with you will carry significant weight. Rob nodded, his mind already planning next steps. I want everything documented, everything legal. They'll try to paint me as the villain, claim I'm turning the kids against their mother. Let them try. Andrea's smile held no warmth. We've got proof of systematic manipulation, potential financial crimes, and documented psychological abuse. They won't know which fire to fight first. Chapter 3, First Blood. The next morning dawned in Angela's household. Rob woke to find his children already at the kitchen table with their Uncle David, picking at breakfast while reviewing their statements for the record. Remember, David said gently, you only have to share what you're comfortable with. This isn't about punishing your mother. It's about protecting yourselves and your father. Emma pushed her cereal around the bowl. What about the gymnastics team? If Mom's been manipulating things through Coach Ramirez, already handled, Angela announced, striding in with her briefcase. I spoke with the school board president this morning. They're launching an independent review of all team selections and competition assignments. Lucas looked up from his laptop. What about the debate team, Dad? Mom's gallery sponsored the last 3 competitions, which is why I've recused myself from coaching until this is resolved, Rob answered, accepting a coffee mug from David. But your teammate Jenny Anderson's mother is taking over. She's been my assistant coach for years. Detective Morrison arrived as they finished breakfast, accompanied by a woman Rob recognized as Olivia Martinez, Kate's gallery assistant. The young woman clutched a large envelope, her face pale but determined. I found these last night, Olivia said, spreading documents across Angela's dining table. These aren't just gallery records, they're evidence of how Mrs. Kincaid and Mr. Sullivan used the art shows to manipulate people. They collected information, created compromising situations, built a network of favors and debts. Rob studied the papers, his teacher's mind cataloging patterns and connections. These names, they're all connected to the school board, local politics, business community. It gets worse. Samuel Wright's voice came from the doorway. James's head chef had arrived, carrying his own set of records. The restaurant's private dining room wasn't just for business meetings. They recorded conversations, gathered dirt on prominent figures. I've been documenting everything for the past year. The twins absorbed this information with growing horror. Emma clutched her brother's hand as Samuel described how James and Kate had built their influence, using the restaurant and gallery as facades for their real operations. Dad, Lucas's voice cracked. How did we not see this? Rob sat between his children, pulling them close. Because they were careful. They built their deception slowly, making each step seem normal until the abnormal became our reality. Detective Morrison organized the new evidence with practiced efficiency. This helps establish pattern and intent. Mr. Wright, Ms. Martinez, are you willing to make official statements? Both nodded. Olivia spoke first, her voice strengthening. I started keeping records when I noticed discrepancies in the gallery accounts. Mrs. Kincaid was using art sales to move money around, but the numbers never added up. Samuel added his own observations. The restaurant's books show similar patterns. James created fake events to cover their meetings, used catering orders to justify strange hours. The doorbell rang, causing everyone to tense. Angela checked the security camera feed on her phone and smiled grimly. It's Teresa Parker. Rob's colleague stood on the doorstep, clutching a flash drive and looking like she hadn't slept. David let her in, immediately assessing her psychological state with professional concern. I can't do this anymore, Teresa burst out. The lies, the cover-ups, it's eating me alive. Everything's on here. She thrust the flash drive at Rob. Years of text messages, emails, times, and dates I helped create alibis. I'm so sorry, Rob. They had information about my brother's legal troubles. Used it to pressure me. Rob accepted the drive without speaking, passing it to Detective Morrison. Angela guided Teresa to a chair, slipping smoothly into lawyer mode. Are you willing to make a formal statement? She asked. Everything you tell us will be protected. Teresa nodded, tears streaming down her face. I'll tell you everything. How they planned it. How they used people against each other. Kate. She kept files on everyone. Used the gallery events to gather intelligence. Then James would use his restaurant connections to apply pressure where needed. As Teresa's confession unfolded, Rob watched his children's faces. They were seeing the adult world at its worst. Manipulation, betrayal, the use of power to control others. But they were also witnessing courage as people like Olivia, Samuel, and Teresa chose truth over fear. Angela's phone buzzed, a message from Judge Hayes. The preservation orders are being executed now. Teams at the gallery and restaurant, home and office searches to follow. Rob nodded grimly. She'll be at the gallery already. Tuesday mornings are inventory days. Good. Detective Morrison smiled. That means she'll be there to see everything unfold. Mr. Wright, Ms. Martinez, your teams know what to do? Both nodded. They had coordinated with their colleagues, ensuring critical evidence would be secured before anyone could destroy it. The gallery staff and restaurant employees had been quietly preparing for this moment, tired of being unwilling participants in Kate and James's schemes. The twins retreated to Angela's guest room, processing the morning's revelations. Rob found them there later, Emma sorting through years of family photos while Lucas documented their mother's social media activity. You don't have to do this, he told them softly. Emma looked up, her young face set with determination. Yes, we do, Dad. She didn't just betray you. She used us. Made us part of her lies. Lucas nodded, not looking up from his screen. Every time she said she was attending my debate competitions but was really with him. Every time she manipulated Emma's gymnastics team. She weaponized our lives, Dad. Rob sat between them, drawing them close. They weren't just his children in this moment. They were allies in the fight for truth. Young warriors forced to grow up too fast because of adult betrayals. His phone buzzed with a message from Detective Morrison. It's done. Evidence secured. You should see the gallery security footage. Kate's face when we walked in with the warrants. Ready for phase 2? Rob showed the message to his children. Their faces hardened with resolve, reflections of his own determination. Phase 2 would hurt. Exposing the truth always did. But they would face it together. Their bond strengthened by the very betrayal meant to weaken them. Ready, Emma whispered. Lucas closed his laptop with quiet finality. More than ready. Outside Angela's house, the morning sun climbed higher, marking the beginning of a new reality. The comfortable lies of their old life had burned away, leaving only truth, Harsh and painful, but clean. Rob held his children close, knowing that whatever came next, they would face it as a family. Kate's carefully constructed world was about to shatter. By the time he was done, she and James would understand exactly what it meant to betray Robert Kincaid and his children. The game had begun, and he intended to win, not just for revenge, but for justice. Chapter 4. Hidden Currents. Rob sat in Detective Morrison's office, reviewing the latest findings from Olivia Martinez's data dump. The gallery's electronic records painted a disturbing picture, one that went far beyond a simple affair. These private shows, Rob pointed to a series of entries, explain why certain school board members changed their votes so abruptly. Andrea nodded, pulling up more files on her computer. Kate wasn't just selling art. She was trading in influence. Look at these guest lists matched against local policy changes. The evidence was damning. Private gallery events coincided with major local decisions, zoning changes, contract awards, board appointments. Each show featured specific artwork priced well above market value, purchased by individuals who subsequently made decisions favoring Kate and James's interests. Dad. Emma's voice came from the doorway. She stood with Lucas, both still in their school uniforms. We found something in Mom's old emails. Rob gestured them in, noting the dark circles under their eyes. Despite his insistence that they focus on school, both twins had thrown themselves into the investigation. Lucas opened his laptop. Remember Michael Quinn? The city councilman who resigned last year. Claimed he wanted to spend more time with family, Andrea recalled. Look at this. Lucas turned the screen, showing an email chain between Kate and James. 3 weeks before his resignation, he attended a private showing at the gallery. Bought a piece for $50,000. Emma picked up the thread. The same night, he had dinner at James's restaurant. The next day, he announced his resignation. Rob studied the evidence. Quinn was pushing for stricter oversight of local businesses. He'd specifically mentioned concerns about money laundering through art sales. There's more, Lucas continued. Mom kept detailed records of everyone who attended these events. Personal information, family details, financial troubles. She documented everything. Andrea leaned forward. How did you access these emails? Sophia helped us, Emma explained, referring to their cousin. Mom used the same password pattern for everything. Once we cracked one account, the others were easy. Rob felt a surge of pride mixed with concern. His children had become skilled investigators, but the cost to their innocence troubled him. Mr. Kincaid? Olivia Martinez appeared in the doorway, clutching a fresh stack of documents. You need to see these. They're records of conversations from the gallery's security system. Rob accepted the papers, his jaw tightening as he read. Kate had installed high-end surveillance equipment throughout the gallery, recording private conversations during events. The transcripts revealed how she and James manipulated their guests, using personal information to guide conversations toward their desired outcomes. The restaurant had similar systems, Samuel Wright added, joining them. The chef's usually confident demeanor was subdued. Private dining rooms, VIP areas, all bugged. James kept recordings of everything. Andrea was already making notes. This crosses into criminal territory. Unauthorized surveillance, potential blackmail. Let me guess. Rob's voice held cold fury. The equipment was installed by Sullivan Security? James's brother's company, Lucas confirmed, pulling up more data. They handled security for both businesses. Emma touched her father's arm. Dad, there's something else. We found messages about the scholarship program. Rob's expression hardened. The scholarship program was his pride, helping underprivileged students access better education opportunities. What about it? Mom and James tried to use it. Emma's voice shook slightly. They approached parents of scholarship students, offered to increase funding in exchange for information about school board members, other parents. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Kate and James hadn't just betrayed Rob personally, they'd attempted to weaponize his charitable work. Patricia Wong is reviewing the program's finances, Andrea assured him. So far, no evidence they succeeded in compromising it. Rob stood, pacing the office. They used everything. My career, my relationships, My children's activities. All pieces in their game. Not just yours, Samuel interjected. Rebecca Torres came to see me yesterday. Remember her bakery? Rob nodded. The small bakery had supplied his favorite cinnamon rolls until it suddenly closed last year. James offered to feature her desserts at the restaurant, Samuel explained. Asked her to cater private events. But there were conditions. She had to share information about her other clients, especially city officials who frequented her shop. When she refused? Rob asked, already knowing the answer. Health inspections increased. Suppliers suddenly had delivery problems. Her lease wasn't renewed. Classic squeeze play. Lucas was already typing. I'm finding similar patterns with other local businesses. Mom and James targeted anyone who could threaten their network. Andrea's phone buzzed, a message from her contact at the FBI. They want to move on the surveillance evidence. Rob, we need to decide how to play this. Rob looked at his children, seeing the determination in their faces. They'd lost their mother to this revelation, but they'd gained something else, an understanding of justice, of standing against corruption. We move carefully, he decided. Document everything. Build an airtight case. When we strike, we take down the entire network. Emma pulled up another file on her tablet. The gallery's hosting a major show next month. All their regular players will be there. Perfect timing. Andrea smiled grimly. Samuel, can your staff help? The chef nodded. Already coordinating with Olivia's team at the gallery. We've got people everywhere they do. Rob felt the pieces aligning. Kate and James had spent years building their influence through manipulation and fear. Now those same connections would become their undoing. Dad. Lucas's voice held a note of concern. What about Mom's lawyer? The letter this morning. Rob had almost forgotten the legal threat. Kate's attorney had sent a letter demanding joint custody and control of the scholarship program's assets. Let her play that game. Rob's voice was steel. Angela's already building our counter case. The surveillance evidence alone will destroy her reputation, Emma finished. The parents of her Gallery Kids program won't want their children near her once this comes out. Andrea began organizing the new evidence. I'll have my team analyze the surveillance equipment. If it's been running as long as we think. Years of recorded conversations, Samuel confirmed. James kept everything, thinking it was insurance. Now it's evidence, Rob stated flatly. Recording, manipulated deal, destroyed business. It all comes back to them. The twins exchanged glances before Emma spoke. What about our friends? Once this becomes public, Rob pulled his children close, his protective instinct warring with the need for justice. You'll lose some friends. Others will understand. The truth hurts, but lies destroy. We choose truth, Lucas said firmly. Like you taught us. Rob looked around the room, at his allies gathered with their evidence, at his children standing strong despite their pain. Kate and James had built their empire on secrets and lies. He would tear it down with truth and justice. Andrea, he turned to the detective. Time to move to phase 2. Let's show them what happens when their puppets cut their strings. Chapter 5. The Pressure Points. Max Howard adjusted his recorder, his journalist's instinct telling him this story would define his career. His former teacher sat across from him, surrounded by evidence of betrayal. Start from the beginning, Max prompted. How did you first suspect something was wrong? Rob considered the question. Looking back, there were signs. Small inconsistencies, changed behaviors. But Kate and James were masters at explaining things away. And the broader operation? The gallery events? The restaurant meetings? That's where you come in. Rob slid a folder across the table. These are statements from local business owners. People whose lives were damaged by their schemes. Max opened the folder, his eyes widening. Rebecca Torres's bakery. Michael Quinn's resignation. These all connect? Keep reading. The young journalist scanned the documents, his reporter's mind connecting dots. They created a network of influence through the gallery and restaurant, used surveillance to gather information, then leveraged it for control. Exactly. Rob's voice held no emotion. They didn't just betray me personally. They corrupted everything they touched. A knock interrupted them. Emma entered, holding her phone. Coach Ramirez is here. She wants to talk. Maria Ramirez had aged years and days. The gymnastics coach's usual confidence was gone, replaced by nervous energy. Mr. Kincaid, she began, I need to confess something. About the team selections. We know. Rob's tone was glacial. Kate manipulated you into favoring certain girls based on their parents' usefulness. Maria flinched. She had information about my brother's gambling debts. Said she could help if I cooperated. Max was already taking notes. How many team selections were affected? 3 years' worth, Maria whispered. I kept records of everything. Dates, names, which parents Kate wanted to influence. Emma's face showed the betrayal she felt. Her achievements, her friendships on the team, all tainted by her mother's manipulation. The records, Rob prompted. Where are they? Here. Maria handed over a USB drive. I'm resigning after this. The girls deserve better. As the coach left, Lucas appeared with Jenny Anderson, his debate partner. The girls' usually composed demeanor was shaken. Show them, Lucas encouraged. Jenny pulled up emails on her phone. These are from Mrs. Kincaid to my mother. She offered to feature Mom's interior design work at the gallery if I would. If I would help Lucas lose certain debate rounds. Rob's expression darkened further. Did you? No. Jenny's voice strengthened. But she tried to sabotage me when I refused. Suddenly, my mother's clients started canceling. Projects fell through. Max was documenting everything. How many other students were approached? We're still counting, Lucas answered. Emma found a spreadsheet Mom kept. Profiles of students and their parents, noting potential pressure points. The journalism student who'd once learned critical thinking from Rob was now helping expose a web of corruption. Max felt the weight of the story growing. Mr. Kincaid, he said carefully, when this breaks, it will destroy them. The gallery, the restaurant, their entire social network. Good. Rob's response was immediate. They used their businesses to hurt people. Max used my children's activities to manipulate families. No mercy. Emma touched her father's arm. Teresa Parker called. She's ready to tell everything. The English teacher had been Kate's closest confidant and accomplice. Her testimony would be crucial. Bring her in, Rob ordered. Max, you'll want to hear this. Teresa arrived carrying a flash drive and years of guilt. I documented everything. She began without preamble. Each lie I told for them, each alibi I created. I was a coward. Why? Max asked. Why help them? Kate found out about my brother's legal troubles. Said she could make them worse or better, depending on my cooperation. Then one favor became two, became dozens. Rob studied his former friend and colleague. You watched them destroy my marriage, manipulate my children. I did. Teresa met his gaze. I'll testify to all of it. The affairs, the manipulation, how they isolated you professionally. Whatever you need. Max reviewed the flash drive's contents. This is extensive. Dates, locations, conversations. I was their ally. Teresa's voice broke. I helped them hurt people. The least I can do is help expose the truth. Emma had been quiet, processing the revelations. Did you know about the gymnastics team? The debate competitions? Teresa nodded miserably. Your mother. She saw everything as leverage. Children's activities, parent relationships, business connections, all tools for control. Lucas was already copying the flash drive data. This matches our other evidence. Confirms the timeline of manipulation. Rob's phone buzzed, a message from Detective Morrison. The FBI's moving on the surveillance equipment. They found recordings going back 5 years. Max looked up from his notes. When do you want this to break? Soon, Rob promised. But first, we gather everyone they hurt. All the victims of their schemes. Create a united front. Already happening, Emma reported. Rebecca Torres started a business owners support group. Jenny's organizing students whose families were targeted. Teresa stood to leave, pausing at the door. Rob, I know it means nothing now, but I'm sorry. For everything. You're right. His voice was cold. It means nothing. But your testimony will help destroy what they built. That means something. As she left, Max reviewed his notes. This goes beyond a revenge story, Mr. Kincaid. This is about systematic corruption, abuse of power. It's about justice, Rob corrected. For everyone they hurt. My family was just one target among many. Emma showed them her tablet. Mom's lawyer sent another letter. She's demanding access to the scholarship program's records. Rob smiled for the first time that day. A predator's smile. Perfect timing. Let her dig. She'll find Patricia Wong's audit instead. The forensic accountant? Max clarified. Who's documenting how they tried to use the program to gather intelligence on families, Lucas explained. More evidence of attempting to weaponize charitable work. A knock announced Andrea Morrison's arrival. The detective's face was grim but satisfied. FBI's finished their initial analysis of the surveillance equipment. You're going to want to see this. Rob stood, gathering the new evidence. Max, get your story ready. When we move fast. What about Mom? Emma asked quietly. She made her choices. Rob's voice held no warmth. Now she faces the consequences. All of them. Chapter 6. The Turning Point. The letter arrived on expensive legal paper, Kate's manipulation evident in each carefully crafted word. Rob read it twice, noting the subtle blame shifting, the implications of his emotional distance driving her to James. She's demanding joint custody, he told Angela, who sat across from him in her office. Plus half the assets, including control of the scholarship program. His sister's laugh held no humor. She's overplaying her hand. Wait until she sees our counter-evidence. The surveillance recordings alone, Rob began, are just the start, Angela interrupted, pulling out new documents. Diana Sullivan came to see me this morning. Rob's eyebrows rose. James's wife had been notably absent from the unfolding drama. She's been documenting everything, Angela continued. Years of James's manipulation. How he and Kate worked to isolate you professionally while building their influence. Smart woman. Smarter than they knew. She has recordings, emails, financial records, all showing how they systematically undermined your other friendships while Kate worked to control your career options. Rob studied the new evidence. Why come forward now? Because of this. Angela handed him another letter, the one Kate had sent to the twins. Rob's hands clenched as he read. The letter was a masterpiece of emotional manipulation, attempting to turn his children against him through carefully worded concerns and subtle accusations. The twins showed it to David, Angela explained. He says it's textbook psychological manipulation. They're drafting a response that will become evidence of her attempts to weaponize them. Using her own children as pawns, Rob's voice was deadly quiet. That's a line she shouldn't have crossed. A knock interrupted them. Detective Morrison entered with Diana Sullivan herself, an elegant woman whose perfect composure masked years of calculated patience. Mr. Kincaid, Diana's voice was precise. I believe it's time we compared notes. Rob gestured her to a seat. I'm told you've been keeping records. Since the beginning. Diana opened her briefcase. James thought he was so clever, building his restaurant empire while destroying other people's dreams. He never suspected his own wife was documenting everything. Andrea leaned forward. Everything? The surveillance systems, the private dining room meetings, how they use the businesses to gather intelligence and apply pressure. I have dates, names, amounts paid for silence. Rob studied James's wife with new respect. Why didn't you come forward sooner? Timing, Diana said simply. I needed enough evidence to destroy them completely. Your discovery of the affair provided the perfect catalyst. Angela was already reviewing the new documents. This is incredible. Financial transfers, recorded conversations, detailed notes of their manipulation tactics. I also have proof of how they sabotaged your department head position, Diana added. James bragged about it one night when he thought I was asleep. I started recording his late-night phone calls after that. Rob's phone buzzed, a message from Emma. The twins need us. Something about Kate's latest move. They found Emma and Lucas in Angela's living room, huddled over a laptop with their cousin Sophia. The young cybersecurity expert had been instrumental in tracking the digital trail of Betrayal. Mom's trying to access the scholarship program's database, Lucas reported without looking up. Sophia caught multiple attempts in the last hour. Sophia nodded, her fingers flying across the keyboard. She's using James's brother's security company to try and break in. Amateur hour stuff, really? Let them try. Rob's voice held satisfaction. Patricia Wong replaced all the files with her audit records yesterday. Emma turned the laptop to show them. That's not all. Look what we found in Mom's cloud storage. The screen displayed folders of meticulous records, psychological profiles of students, parents, teachers, and local business owners. Each file detailed potential pressure points, financial vulnerabilities, and personal weaknesses that could be exploited. She documented everything, Diana observed. Just like James, Detective Morrison studied the files. This proves intent, shows the systematic nature of their manipulation. There's a folder on you, Dad, Lucas said quietly. Dating back to before they sabotaged the department head position, Rob sat beside his son, reading the file that detailed his own psychological manipulation. Kate had noted his dedication to students, his moral code, his trust in friends, all weaknesses to be exploited. She used my integrity against me, he realized. Knew I wouldn't suspect a friend of betrayal. Classic manipulation tactic, Diana confirmed. James did the same to his business partners. Used their own honor as a weapon against them. Angela's phone buzzed. Kate's lawyer just filed for emergency custody, she reported. Claims you're turning the children against her. Perfect timing, Sophia grinned. Should I show them what else we found? Emma nodded eagerly. Show them the video. Sophia pulled up security footage from the gallery, dated 3 months ago. It showed Kate and James in her office, discussing their long-term plans. The audio's crystal clear, Sophia noted. Their own surveillance system caught them plotting. The room fell silent as Kate's voice filled the air. Once we force Rob out of the scholarship program, we can use it properly. Those families are gold mines of information. James's response was equally damning. The parents will do anything to keep their kids in good schools. Perfect leverage. The charity events were just covers. Kate continued on the recording. Nobody questions money moving through art sales. And with Teresa keeping Rob distracted at school, Rob stopped the playback. Send copies to Andrea's team. Already done, Sophia confirmed. I've backed up everything to secure servers. They can't delete or alter any of it now. Diana stood, gathering her documents. I should file my own evidence before James realizes what's happening. Angela, would you represent me as well? With pleasure, Rob's sister smiled viciously. A joint legal assault will be much more effective. Lucas looked up from the laptop. Mom's trying to access my school email now. Should we let her in? No, Rob decided. Let her get desperate. The more she tries to force her way in, the more evidence we collect. Emma's phone chimed. Jenny Anderson sent screenshots. Mom's been messaging debate team parents, trying to build support against you. The gymnastics parents too, Lucas added. But Coach Ramirez's confession is already circulating. Nobody's buying Mom's version anymore. Andrea made notes on her tablet. The FBI wants to move on the surveillance evidence next week. We should coordinate our revelations for maximum impact. The article's ready, Emma reported. Max just needs your go-ahead to publish. Rob surveyed the room, his children, stronger despite their pain. His sister, armed with legal weapons. Diana, finally ready to strike back. Detective Morrison, building an airtight case. And young Sophia, protecting their digital flanks. Kate's letter lay forgotten on the table, her attempts at manipulation powerless against the truth. She and James had built their empire on secrets and lies, thinking themselves untouchable. Now those same secrets would become their destruction. Tell Max to hold the article until Monday, Rob decided. Diana files her evidence tomorrow. Angela submits our custody countersuit with the manipulation evidence on Friday. Let them spend the weekend wondering why we're so calm. And the scholarship program? Lucas asked. Stays exactly where it is, Rob assured him. Patricia Wong's audit proves they tried to corrupt it. That becomes public next week, too. Emma hugged her father. Mom's letter tried to make us doubt you. Said you were acting irrationally, that you needed help. Classic gaslighting, Diana noted. James tried the same tactics with our children. But we know the truth, Lucas stated firmly. We've seen the evidence. Rob held his children close, Their loyalty earned through honesty rather than manipulation. Kate's attempt to turn them had failed, just like her attempts to control their lives would fail. Andrea, he turned to the detective. Make sure everyone's ready. When this breaks, it breaks all at once. No warnings, no chances to hide evidence or spin stories. Already coordinated, she assured him. FBI's ready, local police are briefed, media contacts are prepped. They won't know what hit them. Sophia raised her hand. Want me to activate the monitoring protocols? Track their reactions in real time? Do it. Rob authorized. Diana, are your children safe? James's wife nodded. Staying with my sister in Connecticut. Well away from the blast radius. The pieces were in place. Kate and James had spent years building their influence through fear and manipulation. Now they would learn what real power looked like, the power of truth backed by evidence, of justice served cold and complete. Rob looked at his children, seeing their strength and determination. They'd lost their mother to this revelation, but they'd gained something more valuable, the understanding that integrity, once lost, can never be reclaimed. Monday, he confirmed. We end this Monday. The storm was about to break, and Rob Kincaid was ready to be its center. Kate's letter lay forgotten, her last attempt at manipulation rendered meaningless by the truth she'd never valued. The game was ending, and this time, the rules were his. Chapter 7. Calculated Strikes. Monday morning arrived with the precision of a coordinated strike. Rob watched the newsroom clock tick toward 9 as Max Howard made final adjustments to his exposé. The young journalist had grown from student to ally, his investigation about to shatter Kate and James's carefully constructed world. 5 minutes, Max announced, his finger hovering over the publish button. Detective Morrison's team is in position? Rob nodded, his phone displaying multiple message threads. FBI agents at the gallery and restaurant. Local police backing them up. Andrea's coordinating everything. The twins sat nearby, monitoring social media and email traffic with Sophia. Their cousin had created a digital command center, tracking their target's every move. Mom just arrived at the gallery, Emma reported. James is at his flagship restaurant. Lucas pulled up another screen. Teresa Parker's statement is ready to go live on the school's official channels. Principal Matthews approved it himself. Diana's press release? Rob asked. Scheduled for 9:15, Sophia confirmed. After the initial shock of Max's article hits, Rob studied the monitors showing security feeds from both businesses. Kate moved through her gallery, preparing for another day of influence peddling disguised as art sales. James directed his restaurant staff, unaware they were about to turn against him. Time, Max declared. His finger descended on the key. The article went live across multiple platforms simultaneously. Art of Deception. How a local gallery and restaurant empire built a network of corruption blazed across screens throughout the city. Emma's tablet pinged. First reactions coming in. Mom's phone is blowing up with notifications. On the security feed, they watched Kate freeze mid-step, her phone in hand. At the restaurant, James's face drained of color as he read the headline. Phase 2, Rob commanded. Angela's law firm released their legal filings, hundreds of pages documenting years of manipulation, complete with Diana Sullivan's evidence. Simultaneously, Detective Morrison's team entered both businesses, armed with federal warrants. Mom's trying to access her cloud storage, Sophia reported with satisfaction. Too late. Everything's already copied and secured. Lucas monitored the restaurant feed. Samuel Wright just walked out with half the kitchen staff. The food critic from the Tribune is watching it all. The dominoes fell. Gallery artists began withdrawing their works, their lawyers citing contract violations revealed in the evidence. Restaurant suppliers canceled deliveries, distancing themselves from the scandal. Rob's phone buzzed, a message from Andrea. Kate's lawyer just tried to withdraw from the case. Should see your custody countersuit by now. Speaking of lawyers, Angela strode in, tablet in hand. James's entire legal team quit after seeing Diana's evidence. They're afraid of being implicated in the surveillance scandal. Emma pulled up social media reactions. Mom's gallery kids program parents are freaking out. The messages about using their children for information just hit the news. Perfect timing, Rob noted as his phone chimed again. Patricia Wong's audit of the scholarship program just went public. Complete with proof they tried to weaponize it. On screen, they watched Kate attempt to address the gathering media outside her gallery. Her usual poise cracked as reporters shouted questions about surveillance systems and manipulated art sales. James is trying to delete files, Sophia announced. But we've got everything, including what he's attempting to destroy right now. Rob stood, straightening his tie. Time for my statement to the school board. The twins exchanged glances. We're coming with you, Lucas declared. They need to see us, Emma added. See that we chose truth over manipulation. At the school board meeting, Rob delivered a devastating account of how Kate and James had attempted to corrupt his scholarship program. The twins provided their own testimony, describing years of interference in student activities. Jenny Anderson spoke about the debate team manipulation attempts. Maria Ramirez confessed to yielding to pressure over gymnastics team selections. Parent after parent came forward with stories of attempted coercion. Your scholarship program students are here, Principal Matthews informed Rob during a break. They want to show support. In the hallway, Rob found Jason Martinez and other scholarship recipients waiting. We know they tried to use us, Jason said firmly. But we stand with you, Mr. Kincaid. Back at the command center, Sophia tracked the fallout. Gallery artists are pulling out en masse. 3 major exhibitions canceled in the last hour. James's restaurant suppliers are jumping ship, Lucas added. Health Department just announced a special audit based on Samuel Wright's testimony. Rob's phone lit up with a message from Kate, her first direct contact since everything began. He deleted it unread. She's trying to spin this, Emma noted, monitoring social media, claiming she's the victim of a conspiracy. Let her try. Rob's voice held no mercy. Diana's press conference is about to destroy that narrative. On screen, James's wife approached a forest of microphones. Her evidence painted a damning picture. Years of calculated manipulation, documented with the patience of someone who knew their time would come. The restaurant just lost its liquor license, Lucas reported. State Board cited evidence of illegal recordings in private dining rooms. Gallery's insurance company dropped them too, Sophia added. Something about undisclosed liability risks. Rob watched the destruction unfold with cold satisfaction. Status on the FBI raids? Surveillance equipment seized from both businesses, Andrea reported via text. Agents are imaging computers and phones. They won't be able to delete anything now. The twins monitored their mother's increasingly desperate attempts at damage control. Each statement she released was met with more evidence, more testimonies, more proof of years of manipulation. She's trying to access the house security system, Sophia noted. Good thing we changed those codes weeks ago. Rob's phone buzzed with messages from other teachers, parents, community members, all expressing support, sharing their own stories of resistance to Kate and James's influence. Rebecca Torres is organizing other small business owners, Emma reported. They're all going public with their experiences. Michael Quinn just released a statement, Lucas added. Full account of how they forced him out of politics. The day continued, each hour bringing new revelations, new consequences. Rob moved through it all, coordinating with allies, ensuring maximum impact for each disclosure. Mom's trying to reach us through relatives, Emma noted. Block them all, Rob instructed. She lost the right to contact you when she tried to use you against me. Diana's children called from Connecticut, safe with their aunt. Dad's lawyers keep quitting, her daughter reported. Nobody wants to defend him once they see Mom's evidence. By evening, Kate's gallery stood empty, its reputation destroyed. James's restaurants had lost staff, suppliers, and customers. Their carefully built empire of influence crumbled under the weight of exposed truth. First day's damage assessment, Andrea summarized in their final meeting. Both businesses effectively shut down. Multiple criminal investigations launched. Their social network is deserting them. Rob looked at his children, seeing their strength in facing harsh truths. Tomorrow we intensify the pressure. No mercy, no respite. They showed us none, Lucas agreed. Emma nodded firmly. Time they learned what real power looks like. The first day of reckoning ended, but Rob's revenge was far from complete. Kate and James would learn that betrayal carried consequences, devastating, absolute and inescapable. Chapter 8. The Truth Emerges. The next weeks unfolded like a masterclass in strategic destruction. Rob watched from his classroom as Kate's desperate attempts at damage control backfired spectacularly. Another gallery artist withdrew, Emma reported during lunch. She sat with Lucas at their father's desk, monitoring the ongoing fallout. That makes 32 who've pulled their works. Lucas checked his own data. James's flagship restaurant lost its last major supplier this morning. Health department audit found violations in all his properties. Rob graded papers while listening to his children coordinate with their allies. The twins had emerged stronger from the crisis, their analytical skills sharpened by adversity. Sophia says mom's trying to access her old email accounts, Emma continued. But we've got everything already, including the messages she thought she deleted. A knock at the classroom door revealed Teresa Parker. The English teacher's detailed confession had become a key piece of evidence. The school board approved my resignation, she announced. But they're letting me finish the semester. Principal Matthews said my cooperation helped. Rob didn't look up from his grading. You chose truth too late, Teresa. The damage was done. I know. She placed a fresh stack of documents on his desk. That's why I'm still gathering evidence. Found these in my old email archives. The papers revealed more of Kate and James's manipulation attempts. Pressure applied to school staff. Parents maneuvered into compromising positions. Children's activities used as leverage. Lucas picked up the documents. This matches what Ginny Anderson's mom told us. They tried to use the school's parent network to gather intelligence. The same pattern they used with the scholarship program, Emma added bitterly. Rob finally looked at his former friend. Take these to Andrea. Her FBI contacts will want copies. As Teresa left, Principal Matthews entered. Rob, got a minute? The parents of your scholarship students are here. In the library, Rob found families gathered, not to condemn, but to support. Jason Martinez's mother spoke for the group. We're starting a parent oversight committee, she announced, to protect the scholarship program from future manipulation attempts. My construction company will handle building security, Mr. Chen added. No more surveillance equipment installed without proper oversight. The support continued to grow. Rebecca Torres organized local business owners into a mutual aid network, sharing resources and standing against pressure tactics. Mom's gallery landlord canceled her lease, Lucas reported that afternoon. Cited evidence of illegal activities voiding the contract. Emma monitored social media reactions. Her art world contacts are vanishing. Nobody wants to be associated with the scandal. Rob's phone buzzed with a message from Diana. James tried approaching our children's school. Security stopped him. Principal had seen the evidence. How are his kids holding up? Rob asked, genuine concern in his voice for the innocent caught in the fallout. They're safe with my sister, Diana assured him. And in therapy with David. They're processing the truth about their father. More revelations emerged daily. Gallery employees shared stories of being forced to participate in surveillance. Restaurant staff described James's tactics of intimidation and control. Former gallery clients are talking, Emma reported, describing how mom used their personal information to manipulate them. Lucas pulled up financial records. Patricia Wong found more evidence of money movement through art sales. FBI's Financial Crimes Unit is interested. Rob coordinated each new disclosure with Andrea, ensuring maximum legal impact. Kate and James's attempts to fight back only exposed more of their corruption. They're running out of allies, Sophia announced during a strategy session. Their social network is collapsing. Nobody answers their calls. The twins had started a support group for students affected by the revelations. Children of gallery clients, restaurant investors, and local officials gathered to share their experiences. We're not alone anymore, Emma told her father. Everyone's talking now, sharing their stories. Rob watched his daughter lead discussions about recognizing manipulation, while Lucas helped others document their experiences. His children had turned trauma into strength, pain into purpose. Teresa Parker's final confession proved devastating. She detailed years of coordinated deception, how Kate and James used charity events to gather intelligence, how they weaponized philanthropy for control. Your scholarship program was different, Teresa told Rob. It actually helped people. That's why they wanted to corrupt it. The evidence mounted. Diana's documentation, combined with Andrea's investigation, painted a picture of systematic manipulation spanning years. Mom's trying to spin this as a mental health crisis, Emma noted, checking social media, claiming stress and depression led to poor decisions. Let her. Rob's voice was steel. We have proof of calculated, deliberate choices. Lucas monitored the legal proceedings. Her new lawyer quit this morning. Third one this month. The town's reaction continued to exceed expectations. Kate's gallery, once a social hub, stood empty. James's restaurants, former centers of power, attracted only media cameras documenting their fall. Rob maintained his teaching schedule throughout, showing his students that life continued despite betrayal. The scholarship program, now protected by community oversight, emerged stronger. You're teaching us more than history, Jason Martinez told him after class. You're showing us how to stand up for truth. The twins thrived despite the chaos, their academic performance strengthening. Emma's gymnastics team, freed from manipulation, supported each other with genuine friendship. Coach Ramirez's replacement is amazing, Emma reported. No more pressure about parents' social status. Lucas led the debate team with renewed passion. Jenny Anderson's mom is a great coach, he told Rob. She understands about integrity. Each day brought new consequences. Kate's attempts to maintain social connections failed as evidence of her manipulation spread. She tried hosting a private art show, Sophia tracked. Nobody came. Not even her old society friends. James faced similar isolation. His restaurant empire, built on gathering others' secrets, collapsed as his own secrets emerged. Samuel Wright is opening his own place, Lucas announced. All the good staff followed him. Rob coordinated with Andrea as federal investigations expanded. The surveillance evidence alone spawned multiple criminal probes. They're looking at RICO charges, the detective informed him. The pattern of corruption fits organized crime criteria. Diana's evidence proved crucial in multiple jurisdictions. James's brother's security company is under investigation too, she reported. They found surveillance equipment in other businesses. Kate and James had built their power through secrets and lies. Now those same secrets destroyed them. Chapter 9. Redemption's Price. The final phase of Rob's revenge played out across multiple stages. He sat in Angela's office, reviewing the divorce settlement terms. Kate's desperation showed in her latest offer. She'd surrender claims to the scholarship program in exchange for a peaceful resolution. She still doesn't understand, Rob told his sister. This was never about negotiation. Angela sorted through court documents. The judge reviewed Diana's evidence. He's inclined to grant you full custody. The twins would accept nothing less, Rob noted. They've seen too much truth to go back. His phone buzzed, a message from Detective Morrison. FBI's moving to seize the gallery assets. Financial Crimes Unit found clear evidence of money laundering. Emma entered with fresh intel. Mom tried giving a television interview. Claimed she was the victim of a conspiracy. How'd that work out? Angela asked. Samuel Wright and Olivia Martinez went public with their evidence right after. Emma smiled grimly. Showed video of her discussing surveillance operations. Lucas joined them, laptop in hand. James just lost his last restaurant. Health department shut it down based on Wright's documentation. Rob studied his children's faces, no longer innocent, but stronger for knowing truth's price. Diana's evidence? Secured the future for her kids, Angela confirmed. Judge granted her full custody too. James's visitation requires supervision. The scholarship program emerged reformed and expanded. Rob had transformed his private initiative into a community trust, protected by oversight committees and transparent governance. Jason Martinez's mother is heading the parent council, Lucas reported. They're implementing all of Patricia Wong's recommended safeguards. Emma checked her phone. The student support group keeps growing. Kids from all over town are sharing their stories. Dr. David Chin's therapy sessions help the twins process their trauma. They're turning pain into purpose, he told Rob, using their experience to help others recognize manipulation. Sophia's cybersecurity protocols protected the reformed program. Mom made one last attempt to access the system, she informed them. failed completely. The school year continued despite the upheaval. Rob's debate team, now coached by Ginny Anderson's mother, prepared for nationals. Emma's gymnastics squad, freed from manipulation, supported each other with genuine teamwork. Rachel Bennett starts Monday, Principal Matthews announced, stopping by Angela's office. "The new student teacher you recommended?" Rob nodded. He'd interviewed Rachel himself, impressed by her passion for education and unwavering integrity. "The department head position is yours if you want it," Matthews added. Board voted unanimously. "Thank you," Rob replied, "but I prefer teaching. It's where I make real difference." Kate's final attempt at reputation salvage backfired spectacularly. Her media interview portraying herself as a victim met immediate contradiction. Samuel Wright and Olivia Martinez presented documented evidence of her knowing participation in years of manipulation. "She still doesn't get it," Emma observed, watching the footage. "She thinks this is about appearances." James tried similar tactics, Diana reported via phone. "My evidence shut down his attempts at spin." The town changed in the wake of revelations. Rebecca Torres's business alliance helped other small owners resist pressure tactics. Michael Quinn returned to public service, advocating for transparency in local government. 1 year later, Rob worked late in his classroom. Emma and Lucas helped younger students prepare for debates, sharing lessons learned about integrity and truth. Rachel Bennett organized research materials nearby, her presence a reminder that genuine connection could exist without manipulation. The scholarship program, now a model of transparent charitable work, would be Rob's enduring legacy. "Dad," Emma called softly. Jason Martinez got his college acceptance letter. Rob looked up to see his former scholarship student grinning in the doorway. Another life changed through honest help rather than manipulation. Across town, Kate sat alone in her empty gallery. Her social empire had crumbled, her influence destroyed by exposed truth. James faced similar isolation, his restaurant empire reduced to frozen assets and ongoing investigations. The twins thrived despite everything. Emma's gymnastics team won state championships through genuine talent and teamwork. Lucas led the debate team to nationals, his argument about ethical responsibility earning special recognition. "Ready to go home?" Lucas asked, packing his laptop. Rob surveyed his classroom, the scholarship announcements, debate team trophies, pictures of successful students. This was real power, changing lives through truth rather than manipulation. "Almost," he answered, watching Rachel help a student master historical analysis. Her integrity and dedication proved daily that genuine connections trumped manipulated ones. The price of truth had been high. Relationships destroyed, innocence lost, trust shattered. But the rebuilding proved stronger than the destruction. Kate and James learned too late that true power lay not in secrets kept, but in truth revealed. Their empire of influence collapsed under the weight of exposed deception. Rob gathered his things, joining his children. They lost a mother to truth, but gained unshakable strength. The scholarship program would continue helping students, his legacy of genuine positive change. "Now we're ready," he said. They left together, a family forged stronger by betrayal's fire. Behind them lay the ruins of manipulation's kingdom. Ahead stretched a future built on truth's foundation. Epilogue. 5 years later, Robert Kincaid stood at the podium of the newly constructed Kincaid Foundation building, addressing the largest group of scholarship recipients yet. At 47, his presence commanded even more respect than before, his reputation for unwavering integrity drawing supporters from across the country. 5 years ago, this program faced its greatest challenge, he told the assembled students and parents. Today, it stands as a national model for transparent charitable work. In the audience, Lucas and Emma, now 21, sat with their cousin Sophia. The twins had grown into formidable young adults, their early trauma transformed into powerful purpose. Lucas, completing his law degree at Georgetown, specialized in anti-corruption legislation. His debate team experience had evolved into a passion for legal reform. He'd already published papers on detecting and preventing institutional manipulation, drawing from his family's experience. Emma balanced her medical studies at Johns Hopkins with running the foundation's youth outreach program. Her work with young athletes focused on recognizing and resisting manipulation in competitive sports. The gymnastics scandal had sparked a national conversation about coaching ethics. After the ceremony, they gathered in Rob's office, once Kate's gallery, now the foundation's headquarters. The building had been seized in federal asset forfeiture and purchased at auction through Diana Sullivan's strategic maneuvering. Latest update on Mom, Emma reported, checking her secure tablet. Still in Colorado, working at a small art supply store. Her attempt to open another gallery failed when background checks revealed her history. Rob nodded, unsurprised. Kate's past followed her everywhere, the truth of her actions preserved in court records and media archives. James isn't doing much better, Lucas added. His brother's security company collapsed under federal investigation. He's managing a diner in Nevada, no liquor license due to his record. Sophia, now heading her own cybersecurity firm, pulled up surveillance footage. They still try to access old accounts occasionally, probably looking for forgotten assets. Let them try. Rob's voice held the same steel as 5 years ago. Everything's monitored, documented, protected. Detective Morrison, recently promoted to FBI liaison, entered with fresh files. Speaking of documentation, you'll want to see this. Teresa Parker's been doing follow-up work in other cities. The former English teacher had transformed her guilt into purpose, helping investigators identify similar manipulation schemes nationwide. Her detailed understanding of Kate and James's methods proved invaluable. She's working with Michael Quinn's Transparency Initiative, Andrea explained. They've uncovered 3 other gallery restaurant operations using the same playbook. Rob reviewed the files. Share this with Diana's legal team. Her class action suit might want to expand scope. Diana Sullivan had emerged as a powerful advocate for fraud victims. Her organization, built from her divorce settlement, helped others escape and expose manipulation schemes. Her children, supported by therapy and family, grew up understanding the importance of truth. Mom tried reaching out to Diana last month, Emma mentioned. Through a former gallery client. Same response as always? Rob asked. Lucas nodded. Diana's lawyers sent the standard cease and desist. Added it to the documentation file. The twins maintained their united front against Kate's periodic attempts at contact. Her letters, always manipulative, went unopened but carefully archived as evidence of unchanged behavior. Samuel Wright arrived with lunch. His restaurant had become one of the city's most respected establishments, built on principles of transparency and fair treatment. Got some news, he announced. James's last appeal was denied. The RICO charges stand. The group moved to Rob's conference room, where Angela and Dr. David Chun waited with more updates. The couple had expanded their practice, specializing in helping families affected by similar schemes. The support network keeps growing, Angela reported. 3 new chapters opened last month. Rebecca Torres is coordinating with business owners in each city. Rebecca's Business Alliance had evolved into a national organization, helping small owners recognize and resist pressure tactics. Her bakery, reopened with community support, became a symbol of resilience. The student program's expanding too, Emma added. Jenny Anderson's running workshops at law schools, sharing her debate team experience. Jenny had followed Lucas into law, her first-hand experience with attempted manipulation driving her to fight corruption. Her mother still coached the high school debate team, maintaining the standard of integrity Rob had established. Rachel Bennett, now Rob's wife of 2 years, joined them. Their relationship had grown naturally from shared values and genuine connection. She'd become integral to the Foundation's educational initiatives. The new curriculum's ready for review, she told Rob. Jason Martinez helped develop the ethics component. Jason, one of Rob's original scholarship students, had returned after college to work with the Foundation. His story of resisting manipulation attempts became a powerful teaching tool. Principal Matthews called. Rachel continued. The school board unanimously approved implementing it district-wide. The educational landscape had changed dramatically. Rob's experience sparked reforms in school governance, with new protections against the kind of influence Kate and James once wielded. Olivia Martinez and Patricia Wong arrived with financial reports. The former gallery assistant and forensic accountant had formed a consultancy, helping organizations implement anti-fraud measures. Clean audit again, Patricia announced. The oversight committees are working perfectly. Rob studied the gathered allies, each transformed by truth's impact, each committed to preventing others from facing similar manipulation. Updates from the support groups? He asked David. The psychologist nodded. Expanding weekly. Diana's children are leading sessions for kids who've cut contact with manipulative parents. Their insight helps others understand it's okay to choose truth over toxic family bonds. The twins have been instrumental in developing these support systems. Their experience helped others recognize that family loyalty shouldn't enable manipulation. The documentary team called again, Sophia mentioned. They want to update the story for their 5th anniversary special. The exposure of Kate and James's empire had sparked intense media interest. The documentary, produced with the family's cooperation, became a teaching tool for recognizing institutional manipulation. Same answer as always, Rob decided. We share information that helps others. Nothing that glorifies the manipulation. His phone buzzed, a message from Judge Hayes. The retired jurist still served as an advisor, his early role in preserving evidence establishing precedents for similar cases. Confirmation from the FBI's Financial Crimes Unit. Rob read. They're using our case as a training model. Kate and James's methods helped identify 3 major art-based money laundering operations this year. Emma pulled up their secure database, adding it to the timeline. The pattern recognition software Sophia developed flags similar schemes faster now. Lucas checked his own reports. The legal reform project's gaining traction too. 2 state legislatures are considering bills based on our experience. The foundation had grown beyond its educational roots, becoming a resource for fighting systematic manipulation. Rob's insistence on documentation created a roadmap for others facing similar battles. Dad. Emma's voice held a familiar determination. We found something in Mom's old cloud storage. Sophia's algorithms detected hidden files. Rob turned to his daughter. 5 years hadn't diminished his resolve to expose every aspect of Kate's deception. Show me. The twins pulled up complex financial records, revealing previously unknown connections between the gallery operation and international art dealers. Already sent copies to Andrea's team, Lucas assured him. FBI's Art Crimes Unit is interested. Rachel watched her husband's expression. They never stop trying to hide things. And we never stop exposing truth, Rob replied. His marriage to Rachel demonstrated the difference between genuine connection and Kate's manipulation. Their relationship, built on shared values and honest communication, stood in stark contrast to his past. The Foundation's quarterly board meeting began, bringing together their extended network of allies. Rebecca Torres reported on small business initiatives, Michael Quinn detailed government transparency efforts, and Diana Sullivan presented updates on legal advocacy. 5th anniversary conference plans are set, Angela announced. We're expecting attendees from 30 states and 12 countries. The Foundation's annual conference had become a crucial event for anti-corruption advocates. Rob's story of exposing and dismantling manipulation inspired similar efforts worldwide. The scholarship program's results? Rob asked. Jason Martinez stood, pride evident in his bearing. 98% college acceptance rate. 0 incidents of attempted manipulation. The oversight committee's work. The program Rob had built, tested by Betrayal, emerged stronger. Its success proved that genuine charitable work could resist corruption. After the meeting, Rob found the twins in their old classroom, now a training center for recognizing manipulation tactics. Emma and Lucas often spoke to students, sharing their journey from victims to advocates. Sometimes I wonder, Emma said softly, if we could have remained ignorant. Still had a normal family. We have a real family, Lucas countered, built on truth instead of lies. Rob studied his children, no longer the shattered teenagers who discovered their mother's betrayal, but strong adults committed to helping others. You chose truth, he reminded them, no matter the cost. Rachel joined them, carrying updated curriculum materials. The classroom held special meaning. It's where she and Rob first connected, both dedicated to education's power to transform lives. Kate tried accessing the Foundation's donor database again, Rachel reported. Sophia's security caught it immediately. Rob nodded, unsurprised by his ex-wife's continued attempts at manipulation. Add it to the file. Everything gets documented. The twins exchange glances, their bond stronger than ever. Movie night at our place? Emma suggested. Diana's kids are visiting. They'd love to see everyone. Their extended family had grown, united by shared experience and commitment to truth. Diana's children, healed through therapy and support, understood the importance of choosing integrity over manipulation. Later that evening, Rob watched his gathered family. The twins, Rachel, Diana's children, Angela, and David, all sharing genuine connection. Kate's betrayal had shattered his first family, but truth built something stronger from the ruins. No regrets? Rachel asked softly. Rob thought of Kate, alone in Colorado, still trying to rebuild her influence. Of James, managing a diner, his empire of manipulation destroyed. Of their countless victims, now finding strength through unity and truth. Truth costs, he said finally, but lies destroy. We chose truth. The foundation would continue growing, helping others recognize and resist manipulation. The twins would pursue their missions, Lucas through law, Emma through medicine and youth advocacy. Their extended family of allies would keep fighting corruption in all its forms. Kate and James's empire of influence lay in ruins, but truth's foundation stood unshakable. They'd learned too late that real power lay not in manipulation's shadows, but in integrity's light. Rob surveyed his family, not the one betrayal shattered, but the one truth built. The price had been high, but the reward proved greater. Lives transformed, corruption exposed, truth prevailing. The battle for truth continued, but they faced it together, stronger for knowing its cost and value. The future stretched ahead, built on integrity's foundation, secured by unwavering commitment to exposing manipulation. This is where our story comes to an end. Share your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks for your time. If you enjoy this story, please subscribe to this channel. Click on the video you see on the screen, and I will see you there.